and welcome to the Motorsport Coaching Podcast, sponsored by Motivate Training and Management. This is a podcast where we talk to drivers and industry experts to help you maximize your performances on and off the track. Let's get started with today's show. Hello crew and welcome to 107th episode of the Motorsport Coaching Podcast. I'm your host Belinda Risley and today's episode is brought to you by Motivate Training and Management. In today's show we're talking to Kaz Plum, the title of Feeling to Win. Karen is a personal trainer with over 17 years experience. She specialises in performance sports coaching and vitamin supplement plans. Karen is an elite athlete in her own right, winning multiple titles in bodybuilding. Kaz currently works with Supercar drivers Zane, Goddard and Chanda and finke rider Andrew Houlihan. In today's show, we're going to talk about what a supplementation plan looks like for a driver, the role of hydration, and how to work out snacks over a race weekend. If you haven't already, we've got a brand new website over at motivatetraining.com.au with all our new services and our coaching courses. Please race over and check them out. In next week's episode, we're talking to Stuart Walter around about mindset and getting your head into the game for the new season. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Hey Kaz, welcome to the Motorsport Coaching Podcast.
Hey Belinda, thank you for having me on again. It's great to be back.
I'm so excited because 2021 was an exciting year for you. What have you been up to? What did you do in 2021?
It was, yeah. I've had a really busy 2021, working in a number of different motorsport genres, notably performance coach to Supercar driver Zane Goddard, and also Dakar Rally motorbike athlete Andrew Houlihan. So, yeah, it's been a really big year. I've got a lot of other athletes. I work with Chanda in Super 2 as well, various other karters and also a lot of recreational motorsport athletes. But obviously, yeah, predominantly Zane and Andrew have certainly been up there in the forefront for 2021, yeah.
So when you say you've been working with them, what kind of services are you offering them?
So Zane is a little bit more intense, or the fact that he's based here on the Gold Coast with me, which is good. So Zane, I do his training as well as all his nutrition, supplementation, work with him race day or race weekends as well. So getting him all ready to get in that car. So it's a whole oversee of all of his performance, personal performance, leading up into his racing. Andrew, unfortunately, COVID's made it pretty hard with the borders. Our intention was to work a lot more face-to-face with me getting down there, him getting up there. But a few of you might know the story behind Andrew. He had a pretty horrific crash in a training session leading into Dakar. And so I've been overseeing a lot of his rehab, working in with physios and osteos and pretty much anyone else who could get to piece them back together. And couldn't work face-to-face with him, unfortunately. So we had to work a lot more online. I can't repair broken bones, but I can certainly, assist with the fact of making sure his nutrition and his supplements especially were right on point, just assist his body as much as we could. Then working with him in the lead up to Dakar, that was an interesting situation, knowing he was going over there not in the best of situations, to try and get him as comfortable and as best prepared as we possibly could in the situation. Working with him then, obviously with his Dakar nutrition and what we've utilised with supplementation and nutrition to take on that insane race, yeah.
Wow. So it's been a very busy 2021. You talked about providing the guys with supplements.
Yes.
So do you have preferred provider?
I do, because the fact we've got to work with WADA and ASADA approved products. So that's a real little catch there when you are working in that field. There's a lot of hidden ingredients. So I stick with Australian companies for that, in that they are all approved. We know that they're TGA approved. Everything has been, ticked and I's dotted and T's crossed. And I'm not, sending them off there with something that could possibly affect drug testing, anything like that. So I'm a big fan of Switch Nutrition, Australian-based company for main supplement range, right through from proteins, right through basic aminos, and also essential that I work with my athletes. They have the most amazing natural sleep formula for recovery and sleep called Adrenal Switch, and it's an amazing product. And of course, we all know that sleep is such an important factor with these athletes, that all these sort of things I do focus on. I'm lucky to have a great range to work with. And look, I'm also happy to share, I've got a personal code, Kaz, that will allow all your listeners to have 10% off as well. And I'll share that in our show notes that you can post forward there. Another range that I do work with, I absolutely swear by, is a worldwide company called Zane, who do test-based supplements or nutrition-based supplements. And this is one of the only test-proven ranges in the world. So I have a balance oil, it's called. Again, I'll supply you with links that your viewers can, listeners can access. And this works with inflammatory markers in the body. It supports all their joints. It's anti-inflammatory. It's very good for cognitive function. Absolutely fantastic product. And I've just recently, 2 clients of mine that no more knee pain when they're training. It's absolutely amazing, and it's been fantastic to have my top athletes on these products. And it's just so essential when we are talking these high performance athletes to just give them every bit of assistance we possibly can. And I've worked in the supplementation industry for many, many years, and I know that there's a lot of rubbish out there, and it's getting through that. And that's a big thing I do really pride myself on, is making sure my athletes are on those correct products to support their bodies without wasting all their money on unnecessary products that don't work. And trust me, there's plenty of those out there.
There's so many, like just walk into a chemist warehouse and there's a million of them, isn't it? So
Correct.
It is hard. So I guess I could lead into the next question, Kaz, is like, how can you identify or pick or choose which is the best supplement for you?
So that's, again, working with somebody like me, with, all 20 odd years of experience, working, with athletes, working in the industry, of being able to put it all together, because you can get on social media and there's so much advertising out there. Yes, you're going to be bombarded with things. And it's a matter of customizing programs to my athletes. So the likes of Zane, working face-to-face, I work with Biosignature. So we actually do readings on him on a regular basis so that I can see what his body is reacting to. I can see if he's stressed, if he's lacking sleep. We talk about this, and, we have regular meetings where we're talking about how's your sleep, how's your performance, how's your recovery. And if something's lacking, that's when I look, okay, well, what do we need to add in to fix this? Or obviously, looking at different sides. If an athlete is stressed, I've got different options we can use there. And it's tailoring packages to suit rather than just chucking everything at an athlete. And that's what you can do. Like, if you go into a supplement store and you talk to somebody behind the counter that's just wanting to sell you products for the sake of their sales budget for the week, you might as well be throwing money out the window. So that's a big thing that I do and I specialise in, is putting together these packages. The likes of Andrew, we had broken bones to try and fix.
Those bruises, and
Yeah, and I'm getting phone calls at all times of the day at random things. Oh God, this has happened, and so I've got to instantly make decisions of what can we do to try and support the body. I'm not a magician, but I can help get everything in there as far as nutrition and the correct supplementation to try and cope with every situation that we get thrown at us. And look, at the moment, Andrew's in hospital having the first of his repairs. He's been really lucky to get onto this quickly because we were faced with a very long process of it. There's nothing much I can do at the moment working with him. It's up to the surgeons. But, I've been constantly sending him a list and to Katie, his wife, make sure you have this, and this, on hand so that we can start this healing process as quick as possible and get him back able to train and obviously on the road to Dakar 2023, hopefully.
So, Kaz, I'm going to ask you like a little bit of your inside secrets there, but you just said like the list, like what kind of things are on the list? You have to devolve all of it. But is there like one or two things about coming back from recovery that you do highly recommend?
Yeah, so I work very holistically with my athletes. So again, nutrition and supplementation, very much, working holistically. So coming back from something like that, first of all, we're focusing on recovery from the surgery. So arnica is a big one to help with inflammation, bruising. Vitamin C, zinc, very, very important, especially in guys, extremely important.
Yeah.
And also, again, the balance oil that I spoke about was Zeno, because that helps remove inflammation in the body. And that's what our issue is. Any injury or healing, surgery. When we're talking healing and repair, it's about getting that inflammation out of the body. And that's what these particular products do. They assist, especially with soft tissue recovery and repair. And then, keeping that athlete as healthy as we can so that the body can naturally start healing. Then we look at things like, again, I talk about sleep, the adrenal switch from Switch Nutrition. It's just a magic product. And getting that good sleep is so essential. And so it's all focused around that with our recovery, healing. Similar process when we're talking about recovery from events. So that's the same sort of thing that I'm pumping into these athletes. If they're doing, endurance events, if they're doing, a lot of back-to-back racing, it's all about recovery. And recovery from surgery or from an accident, yes, that's extreme, but still coming out of a race event, it's about recovery. Yeah.
Writing down some questions here. So can you take too many supplements?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. So, it's not a matter of just throwing everything in the body. When you talk a lot of your water-soluble supplements, the body's only going to, pee out what it doesn't need, basically. I work with a lot of blood tests with my athletes. So, I'm sending them for blood tests, especially Andrew. So the fact that, he's had a lot of trauma on this body of his, we've got to watch a lot of things, so I'm sending them for blood tests on a regular basis. If I think something's not right, if we're sort of going, okay, well, we've tried this and this and it hasn't really fixed it, let's get a blood test. So definitely I'm a big believer in sending my athletes for blood tests, and all, when we talk females as well, we're talking hormones, so we've got to look at that side. Males, testosterone, if that's not functioning correctly, the body's not going to heal, the body's not going to perform. So when we look at that, we've got to look at things like iron levels. It's really essential. Iron, vitamin C, high vitamin C boosts iron. If we've got low iron, we need high vitamin C and vice versa. Definitely, we've got to watch those kidneys. We've got to watch the liver. More so when we talk, again, Andrew, where we're talking, we've had a lot of, when I say drugs, that's the wrong word to use. Drugs going in, look, he's been on.
I think it's like antibiotics and healing products.
Painkillers, anti-inflammatories, those sort of things going in. He was pumped full of stuff when he was in a Greek hospital, when he had a first big accident at the Hullis. And, like the liver, the kidneys, they all take an absolute beating. So, yes, I do like to go that step further, and I'm a real big believer in getting blood tests so we can really see the true picture of what's going on. Yeah.
And so the other week in the Motorsport Fitness free Facebook group, I dropped that link that Denny Kennedy put from the guy from US. Did you listen to it? It was amazing.
Yes, I did.
And not like for us because we know that stuff, but I just thought like it was just like a wow. And for any athlete, like I seriously recommend listening to that episode. Did you agree with a lot of it?
Correct. 100%. And a lot of that was basically as I would prep, my background's in bodybuilding. My background is in, I coach 11 pro athletes, in bodybuilding. My own background is in that. And that's very much, it brought me back to that and how I would actually prep an athlete for a bodybuilding comp. And look, it's very similar when we're talking all the motorsport athletes. Obviously, we're not doing weight cuts with them. Well, some, it is a little bit of a beneficial, but it's all about performance with them. So it's not about, doing typically weight cuts. But
I like what he said about, and that's what I was trying to integrate, and that's why I tagged you into that post. It was just about having those blood tests, and I feel like I just needed to reiterate that what the service that you provide is what is the norm for professionals.
Yes.
So if you do go to a sport nutritionist, dietitian, allied health professional, that the first thing that they should do is the first consult should be, hey, fill this form, here we are, what is your lifestyle, how's your kind of food look like kind of just general chit chat. It's pretty just run of the mill stuff. But at the end of the day, I need you to go get these tests done.
Yes.
And it's the same like when we started an exercise program, getting that musculoskeletal assessment done. For me, we refer everybody where possible to go get their, through a chiro or physio, to get their biodynamics actually recognized to see what is weak, what is strong. Obviously offering online programs, we can't specifically do that online. Yes, we do have a program that we can see that and we can put across a line, but to get something very specific, it's okay if you're just starting out, but if you are going up to the ranks and you want something more specific, in order to go and see that professional, it just helps us so much better with our programming to see where their weaknesses and strengths are, where there's a shoulder up or shoulder down, or where the hips are up or hips are down, their knees are aligned or their feet rolls out, because all of that stuff plays the important part of performance. And what you do, what I do, it's all about trying to find that 1% to get them better at their performance, whether it's through supplements, whether it's through postural adjustment.
Correct, 100%. And so when I start with an athlete, I have quite an intense health screen form that I go through that, goes through all of that. Obviously, any medications they're on or have been on, any previous injuries, any, current supplements they're using, but then as well, what's their sleep like, what's their stress like, what's their energy.
Think of those. Sorry, Kaz, to interrupt, but people don't even think about that, sleep and stress and schoolwork and homework and financials and without a doubt, through Monday to Wednesday on a social media process, working on the car, working on the vehicle, ready for the weekend, and that's posted at 10:30 at night, and then it gets Friday, and they're not so much stating, oh, so tired, didn't perform, blah, blah. But you can see, especially if you've followed someone for a long time, and you go, well, hang on, this person's normally at the front of the field. Now they're at the back of the field. It all makes it all. It's a whole holistic approach, as I'm trying to say, to actually getting you onto the podium about their performance. It's sleep, it's nutrition, it's exercise, it's supplementation, hydration.
Yes. Yeah. So, that's a big thing to cover, in the fact that, like if their sleep, they're not ticking that their sleep's good. Why? Are you lacking quality sleep? Like, are you not getting to sleep well? Do you struggle to get to sleep? Are you not getting deep sleep? Are you restless in the night? Or are you not allowing enough time for sleep? How do we overcome this? Do we need supplementation in there to assist with that? Or do I simply need to tell you, come on, you got to get to bed earlier? Things like that. Yeah, where is the stress coming from? How do we deal with that? Do I put extra supplements in there, like extra B vitamins, to help support the body through that? I've been studying sports psychology as well. I have a current certificate in sports psychology now. Putting it all together. It's all that. It's not just one simple fix. It's breaking it all down, and that's what I do. I supply a full performance package to my athletes. Yeah.
Which is fantastic. And as I said, like, you're part of the Motivate team. And so if anyone's wanting Kaz's service, they can simply click on, or find us on any social media platforms to get in contact with us. And also Kaz obviously has her own links that will be available at the end of the show. But yeah, like yourself, like me, like Stuart Water, that does our in-house sport hypnotherapist. We all know as allied health professionals that it's more of a holistic approach. You spoke about supplementation, and I think previously that they were kind of only insurance for those kind of like 16 years and over. But I feel like now, I mean, if we can jab our kids from 5 to 11, are they allowed to have, seriously, is there types of supplementation? I mean, I know myself, I go to Chemist Warehouse, there's jelly, lubes for kids, for immunity and vitamin C stuff, like they're full of sugar and I'm pretty sure they're shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like they're selling it and they're high marketed. I'm not going to say supplement companies, but I mean, that's what they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're more like a placebo effect, as we know. But has the industry changed over the last 12 months or 24 months since COVID? And, around about when is it right to have supplementations? And you said about oils versus supplements. Is that a different thing?
So basically, again, technically when I learned and studied, young teenagers, young people shouldn't really necessarily be needing supplements. More so getting the correct nutrition. However, when these younger athletes are really putting high demands on their body, the body still needs a bit of support. So I am minimalistic when it comes to younger teenagers. More so definitely looking at correct food choices around their training, and getting a good protein source in from food. I don't like to introduce in too much in the way of artificial sweeteners and things like that into, younger kids. But look, nowadays we've got more natural ones like stevia. And so using
bad reviews about stevia, to be honest. So I'm not saying like I'm for it.
Yeah.
I prefer just to have nothing, or agave, or whatever you call it. And I think this the other thing too is is it AC bowls, AK bowls, agave, there's so many pronunciations for these simple sugars which are natural. Like why can't I just say I want the natural sugar product?
Yeah. So, again, it's a matter of, when, with what I do, it's about timing. So not having all these sugary foods at, the wrong times. They are really beneficial pre-race. I use a bit of sugar with my athletes. pre-racing, not so much during, with the fact you've got to watch, you can have a sugar crash, and we don't want that. You know, when we're talking endurance race driver, they don't want a sugar crash, and well, because then literally a sugar crash can end up with a crash, literally a crash. We don't want that.
Correct. And that's what the difference is between a sugar and a carbohydrate. Do you know what I mean? Like people think, oh, carbohydrate is a bad thing, but it's actually a beneficial thing because it's slowly reducing energy over a period of time. So it depends on the race environment. And
so, you know, so with the young ones, just getting that right, making sure that it's not intense sugar, that we're using carbohydrates, but also fats for sustaining energy. That's a big one.
Protein as well,
but in the supplement side, keeping that minimalistic, I'm more now. So yes, when you go back to we're talking about COVID, I do put a bit more probably focus onto the immune system. I do like my younger ones to have some vitamin C. Again, there's a lot of rubbishy ones out there. Yes, you can get some that are full of sugar. So more of just your pure ascorbic acid. And there is like gummy bear ones and things like that.
Such as what, like oranges, or like naturally, or
naturally, but no, I would do it in supplementation. There is specific ones out there for teenagers, but that's where the parents needed to be a little bit more guided by me or their own knowledge of reading the labels and making sure that that product is not just full of sugar, that it's basically a lolly, because there's a lot of that, oh, great, you know, I'm taking multivitamins, you know, I'm taking this and that, and a lot of them are no different to having a lolly. There is a lot of rubbish out there with supplementation for sure. Going back to that, you know, you can waste your money on a lot of unnecessary things. Then the Zeno range, a lot of that is approved for teenagers. A lot of that is, and that is a test-based supplement. So going back again to talking about testing, with that range, we actually do a blood test. So that's included with the range, that we can test inflammatory markers. We can test how protected the body is from, whether it's immunity, how protected you are from actual stress within the body. So that's why it's quite an amazing range. And the test gets sent over to Norway to a very reputable lab over there, which is really exciting. You know, I'm really excited to work with, top professionals with these products. I've tried them, tested them, studied them. I actually have some great, people in that business that I've followed myself that are doctors in their field and extremely knowledgeable. So they're like mentors to me, which is really cool. You know, look, it's always good to be exploring and learning and bettering my own knowledge for my athletes as well.
Oh, fantastic. And you know, the Kaz is going to be doing a free workshop not a free workshop, but doing a workshop at the end of this month in the Motivate Training Facebook group. And so look out for that link if you're interested. And Kaz is going to break down like what kind of supplementations, from sleep to performance to after performance, just those 3 categories. And obviously you'll get an affiliate link in order to participate for that. I'll put that link into the show notes as well.
Yeah.
But I have like so many questions. I'm really enjoying this conversation. I'm not even sure like where I want to go next, because I'm like just blown away. Like there's teenagers and there's adults, and obviously like we work with kids as well. And then you like spoke what you did about Zane and Andrew. And I guess for me, because obviously we have like such a big team of allied professionals here at Motivate, and everybody could work with the athlete on the day. And I guess hence why you've now studying sports psychology. So you could be like both of those two. But I guess, it's kind of hard, like when you've gone from grassroots to progressing through the system, to know which is the best, person to invest in. Is it a coach? Is it a manager? Is it the sports dietitian? Is it the psychologist? Is it the personal trainer? And I don't know if you know the answer, but I just feel like, or is it everybody? Ideally, we'd like to say everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, where I guess it's pretty exciting for me, the fact that I'm pretty much covering a lot of those. I'm a big believer in, working with the best in the industry as far as referrals of what's going wrong. The likes of, let's take Andrew, look, I'm not going to sit there and say to him, I know it all and I will fix you and everything's going to be great. I've worked with him to research who to refer him to. He's come to me, he's like, Kaz, what should I do in this situation? I'm like, right, we need to find, and I said to him, I think an osteo, let's find a good osteo. So I researched who I thought was the best option, said, I think you should try this, and this person. Then I corresponded with the particular person that we were using.
It's
and
a collaboration of
it is.
And if you ask me, and I still had contacts in that area as well.
That was one we I threw out there as well that we were talking about. And to me, it's about the athlete, and it's about us professionals coming together for the best interest of the athlete and making sure that they get the very best, because it's not about me. It's about them, and I'm working for them to look after them. Look, the likes of, go back to Zane, the way I look at it there, look, I'm with him all day at the track. I'm the kind of the closest person with him. I'm I'm the last person that's with him on the grid before the door of the car gets shut. And I'm the first person that is with him when he gets out of that race car. I've been there, from early in the morning with him, obviously, not only the week leading up, but, every week on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And it's my job to know that athlete, know how he ticks, know what food he likes, know what supplements he needs, know how his body works and functions. But then, yes, what do you say to them, on the grid? Yes, I'm giving him his water and his electrolytes. Looking after his cap or his mask and sending him off to the loo before he races and all that side of thing. But then there's the side of, what do you say to them when they get in that car? What do you say to them when they've come out of that car? And, obviously it's easy to give them a pat on the back and a hug and say, congratulations, that was an awesome effort, well done. But what do you say if they've just run off the road or their car's just blowing up and, they're upset, they're depressed, they're really down, they're really grumpy? You've got to know the athlete. You've got to know how to work with them then. Yes, I've got to hand him his protein shake and banana when he gets out of the car, but I don't want that thrown in my face. So, you shove that up your bum. So to me, it is, I'm excited to cover so many aspects. With him, I know how his body functions in training. I break down how it works in the car. Are you pulling up sore out of the car? Where and why? And I've got to look at what's going on there, to then take it into the gym to correct that or to try and, work with any imbalances we have. So that's where it's really exciting when I do work very closely with an athlete like that, because, you know them inside and out. And it's my job to, basically, look after them like the joke is with Zane. I'm mum number two.
He's smart. He's very smart.
I am, I'm mum number two. So I had to be mum number one down at Bathurst because, his real mum couldn't get there. So it was me. With Andrew, I've got to
sacrifice a lot. Like, you sacrifice a lot to be there with your driver as well. Like,
yes,
we don't have to go through the whole story, but you do.
I know. Yeah. But, look, I love it. And you work closely with them. You want the best for them. And it's exciting. It's just horrendous with what we went through with COVID to not be able to be there, to not feel I'm properly doing my job. It felt useless. I felt so useless sitting on the edge of my seat, not know what's going on. Is he all right? Are they all right? You know, should I be doing something? You just feel useless.
Well, I've been doing the same for like 2 years as well. Plans with warm-up exercises, cool down, supplementation, psych stuff, social media, like all of our regimen of like what we offer at the track at each and every race meet. But the only thing that seemed to be functional was you guys in Queensland.
Yes.
And, we were still just like looked down like hermits and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
I mean, my next thing, is to get to the Dakar with Andrew. Again, same thing, really hard. It just wasn't possible, wasn't an option. That's moving forward. That's definitely our goals and our intentions to get me there. I worked alongside his wife, Katie. She was wonderful. I was in communication with her all the time. I sent her lists of things I wanted her to tick each day to do when he comes in off his bike, to do before he gets on his bike, stretching, foam rolling, all that sort of specifics that I identified. I was lucky to briefly get to see Andrew before he went over to the Dakar when I was stuck down in New South Wales before I could get back from Bathurst. So I managed to utilise that time and was lucky to, be at Andrew's send-off party and get to, work a little bit, go to his osteo with him to really see what was going on there a bit more. It didn't take much to see, the struggles, that's for sure, and know that, what is this guy doing? This is just incredible, that the fact he got on that bike and the fact he made one leg of that Dakar, let alone 5, was seriously unbelievable. Like I can't tell you how proud I am of this guy. There's a little bit of thing out there. There's an article out apparently, is this guy insane? Yeah, well, they've got to be insane to do Dakar to start with.
Oh, for sure. And I was obviously aware of the whole story that was happening, and every day it was like hand on heart, tongue. It's like, what is going on?
He's next level. I'm really honoured to work with an athlete of this incredible calibre and guts. And look, we've got a new plan moving forward. First of all, he's got to get healed. He's got to be pieced back together, basically. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to put a fully fit and functional athlete into the Dakar Rally because we had a short prep for his first one. It wasn't enough. He knows that now. We had him working.
You guys only literally met through Motivate within about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
In the Facebook group that you guys actually met and cemented, and then it was like, he's going, and then the relationship is literally built over the last 15 months, which is fantastic.
Correct.
So anyone's getting started, what's your best advice? Is it about having a consult with yourself? Is it about filling in a food jar? What do you recommend?
So obviously making contact with me. I can send out my health screen forms and client introduction forms. From there, I ask for a food diary and often photos as well, just to see the makeup of that particular body type. Especially with females, that's a big one because I can typically pick up just from body types if we got something hormonal or that going on too. Often I'll pick that up from health screen forms, and then going through that health screen form, breaking that down. If there's things in there that are sending off, sending out red flags or some alarms going off, looking further. That's where we talk about blood tests. And breaking everything down from there and moving forward with it's like questions. I can do via Zoom. I can just do via email. Obviously, locals. I can do contact. So even over the phone. But
So where are you likely available?
Sorry, what was that?
Where are you locally available?
Gold Coast. Gold Coast. Yeah. So, I'm obviously traveling around, hopefully now, I'm traveling around all over the place. So you'll find me, at racetracks, at events as well.
Really? Who are you with this year?
So I've got Matt Chanda.
Oh, yeah.
And Super 2. Zane, we just kind of, I can't say anything. I got your mouth shut. Zane, we're hoping that he should be making an appearance of some sort at a few of the rounds. Hopefully some pretty exciting things are in store for this young gun. We've taken a bit of a backseat this year half by choice, I guess. Until there's things sort of signed and done and dusted, my lips are sealed. But
until anything is signed. So yeah. I thank you for your wealth of knowledge and experience that you shared with us today. And of course, if anyone wants to get in contact with Kaz, all her details will be in the show notes, as well as that she is a permanent member, a part of our motorsport and fitness. I keep changing the group name, so anyway, it's the Motorsport Fitness Free Facebook group, and she's in there, so you can ask her a question anytime. But we've also recently launched our free motorsport toolkit. Well, it's not free. Membership, which is $9.95 a month or $99 for a year, with all these access to all these podcasts, resources, checklists, PDFs, pretty much like everything that Kaz is talking about, she's going to make for us in some way or another into a checklist, a PDF, a link where she will talk about all the inflammation of joints, cognitive function, the zinc things, Annika. And all of those links will be available also within that membership site for a clear $9.95 a month. Which is fantastic, because you'll find as we go along, Motivate has a range of allied health professionals that can help you get onto the podium. So, Kaz, thank you.
My pleasure. You're welcome. And it's great that you're offering, all these services and the access to so many different professionals in, the motorsport industry. It's fantastic. And I appreciate the opportunity as well. Thank you.
Like, obviously we could have talked all day.
Yeah.
Things that we could go through, but thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And again, if you wanted to have a consult with Kaz, her link will be in today's show notes, and that please just book in and have that consult and just see. Thanks for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks everyone for listening to this week's show. I really hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. Now, remember, all the show notes with the links and the specials mentioned in today's show are available over at motivatetraining.com.au. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could head to iTunes or Stitcher, type in Motorsport Coaching, subscribe, and leave us a review. Each week, I'll read them out and you'll go into a monthly draw to win a fantastic prize. If you have any questions or comments, please email us at motivatetraining.com.au or head over to our Facebook page at Motivate Until next time, take care.